Men don't get addicted to women. They get addicted to how they feel when they're with her. And if you know how to give a man that one feeling, he'll keep coming back, like it's his next fix. Today, I'm going to show you the mental drug that makes a man addicted. And it's not beauty, it's not sex, and it's not playing hard to get. It's something most women don't even realize they're doing when it works. Think about it. When a man meets you, he's not just looking at who you are. He's asking himself, who am I when I'm around her? If being with you makes him feel stronger, more confident, more alive, you've just become his emotional high. And here's the crazy part. He's not addicted to you. He's addicted to the version of himself you awaken. You're the spark that makes him feel like the best man in the room. That's why other women can't compete, because no one else is giving him that exact high. A man will sleep with the woman he can, but he becomes deeply attached to the one who sparks a certain rare feeling inside him. And no, it's not what you're assuming right now. Forget everything you think you know about attraction. Forget the advice from magazines, friends, or movies. This isn't about some secret move in bed. It's not about having a perfect body or a flawless face. It's not even about being the most outgoing and fun person in the room. That's the beginner's game. Sure, it can catch some attention, but looks fade faster than they arrive. Today is about something deeper, something you can't see. It's about a switch in the brain, a powerful mechanism buried deep in a man's emotional center, so ancient and strong that it can instantly tell the difference between a normal interaction and one that creates an emotional dependency. Have you ever wondered why a man who seemed so interested suddenly turned cold? Why you gave your best, kind, loving, attentive, and still he chose someone else? Or the hardest one to face? Why some women, without trying too hard and without being perfect, manage to inspire a man's loyalty to the point of obsession, while you feel like you have to fight for his attention? The truth is, it's not about what you do, but what you awaken inside him. The real question isn't how can I make a man want me physically. Physical desire is a basic instinct. It's easy to start. The real, life-changing question is how can I make it so he can't stop thinking about me? What is this invisible, silent mental pull that separates men simply like from women they can never forget? What you're about to discover isn't a seduction trick. It's a truth from male psychology, backed by neuroscience and evolutionary science. Once you understand it, you hold a powerful advantage, because a man's body always follows his mind. And his mind isn't searching for what everyone else is offering. It's searching for something rare, something you already have, but may not know how to use. Once you see it, you'll never think about attraction the same way again. Here's the puzzle so many women face. On one side, we're told by pop culture that we need a whole checklist of qualities to attract a man. Beauty, a toned body, charm, great intimacy. The list never ends, and it pushes us to try to be the perfect product. So many women spend their energy chasing this ideal, but in real life, something strange happens. Seemingly perfect relationships fall apart. Men lose interest in women who are a perfect 10 on paper. Meanwhile, we see other women who don't meet that standard at all, inspiring deep devotion and desire that borders on obsession. Why? Because we've been focusing on the wrong thing. For decades, the focus has been on physical attraction, the body, the visible. But we've ignored another doorway, a much more important, much more protected doorway, the door to a man's mind. And that's where everything is decided. The difference between a one-night encounter and a lifelong commitment, between being just another option and being the only one. All of that isn't decided in bed. It's decided on the silent, invisible battlefield inside his head. In his brain, there's a mental filter, like a gatekeeper. Every interaction you have with him passes through this filter. Then, it makes a very simple decision. It decides whether what he experiences with you is interchangeable, nice, but forgettable, stored only in short-term memory, or whether it has something special, a spark that makes it unforgettable. If that spark is there, The experience passes through the filter and stays in his long-term memory. Even more importantly, it activates the deep desire and reward centers in his brain. The problem is, most dating advice and seduction tactics are designed only to give this gatekeeper temporary satisfaction, a quick high, but not that rare ingredient that opens the main door. That's why this is so important. When you understand this, you can stop exhausting yourself trying to reach some unrealistic ideal. You no longer have to twist yourself into someone you're not. Instead, you can focus your energy on what truly makes a lasting difference, a connection that sticks. What we're talking about here is the nature of that spark, the chemical formula of this mental drug. I'll explain exactly what it is, why the male brain is wired to respond to it, and how you can create it naturally, without games, without tricks, and without losing your real self. This is my promise. If you stay with me, you won't just learn a new word, you'll understand the operating system of male desire at a level 99% of people completely miss. And knowledge is power, the power to truly touch his heart. So what is this mental drug? What is the rare element that slips past all of a man's defenses and plants itself in his deepest control center? The answer is a single word, and it's probably not what you're thinking. It's not passion. It's not mystery. It's not beauty. The word is admiration. I know. Admiration might sound a little cold. It doesn't sound especially romantic or sexy. It might even sound like something you feel for a teacher or a boss, not for a partner. And that's exactly where its secret power is hidden. To understand why admiration fuels the deepest male desire, we have to take a quick look inside his mind and his most basic programming. From both an evolutionary and psychological view, a man is built to seek, to strive, to win. Not just in a physical sense, but in status, skill, and purpose. He has an inborn need to feel capable, to be good at what he does, to build something, to protect those he values. Physical attraction is just the first step. A quick spark. He sees you and his instinct says, I want her. But that's just the urge to possess, one-sided and surface level. It can fade as quickly as it arrives. Admiration, however, changes the whole game. The moment a man admires you for something beyond your looks, for your intelligence, your passion for what you do, your integrity, your quick wit, the calm way you handle a crisis, or even your dedication to a hobby he doesn't share, something shifts in his brain chemistry. His desire changes from, I want her, to, am I worthy of her? Suddenly the power shifts. He's no longer the hunter chasing his prize. Now he's standing before a woman with her own world, her own worth, her own light. You're no longer just someone he wants. You become someone who inspires him. And that feeling is powerful. It's the difference between I want to be with her tonight and I want to stand beside her for life. Think about that. Physical desire wants to own. Admiration wants to connect. He doesn't just want to be with you physically. He wants to understand you, to learn from you, to take some of your spark and make it part of himself. That doesn't mean you have to be the head of a company or a space scientist. Admiration has nothing to do with huge accomplishments. It's about being real and having passion for life. It's the light in your eyes when you talk about a book that changed you. It's the certainty in your voice when you share your opinion at dinner, even if everyone else disagrees. It's the moment he laughs because you are fully focused on putting together a piece of furniture, frustrated but determined. In those moments, he doesn't just see an attractive woman. He sees someone fascinating, independent, and alive. His ancient mind, always searching for challenge and meaning, switches on. Suddenly, attraction stops being a game. It becomes a mission. But here's the real challenge, the trap almost all of us fall into. If admiration is such a strong force in male desire, why does society and our own fears push us to do the opposite? Why are we told to shrink ourselves, to avoid shining too brightly in case we scare men away? This is where attraction dies, because we hit an uncomfortable truth. The strongest force in male attraction is admiration. But right next to this truth lives a dangerous, destructive myth. A myth we've been hearing since we were little. A myth we've seen in countless movies and eventually took as a fact. It says, don't be too smart, don't be too successful, don't be too independent, or you'll scare men away and end up alone. Sound familiar? It's one of the most damaging lies told to generations of women. It traps us in the belief that to be wanted, we must stop being admirable. But here's the twist. This myth is not completely false, it's just completely misunderstood. And in that misunderstanding, we end up hurting ourselves. The truth is, a man who is truly valuable isn't afraid of your strength. He only pulls back if you treat him like you're in a competition with him. He doesn't fear your intelligence, but he may feel drained if you use it as a weapon against him. Your success doesn't scare him, but if you use it to put his down, he will lose interest. Think of it like this. Male energy naturally leans toward competition, problem solving and progress. When a man approaches you romantically, he's looking for balance, a feminine energy that matches and complements his, not one that battles him. But if a woman, in trying to prove her worth, goes into combat mode, arguing to win, constantly correcting him, challenging every opinion, competing over who is smarter or more successful, then in his eyes she stops being a partner and starts being a rival. And in that moment, the magnetic spark between masculine and feminine energy disappears instantly. Take Sophia, for example. She's intelligent, highly successful, educated and independent, and she often complains that men can't handle strong women. On her dates, she talks at length about her achievements, her travels, her bonuses. If her date shares a win at work, she responds with one of her own, but bigger. If he voices a political opinion, she breaks it apart with her